All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Revan Trading Channel. Hope you all are staying safe out there as always. Today, I am excited to release these two brand new indicators and some strategies around them. You can get these indicators for absolutely free. You can get one or both of them for free. If you watch towards the end of the video, I will tell you how. But first, let's take a quick look at them. Then we'll look at a couple strategies built around them, and one other strategy that I built around the Ribbon Momentum Oscillator, which is a part of the Revan Ribbon Suite. I'm building some short strategies now because we are getting into a time where people are more interested in those, though I do expect a decent bounce from here. Speaking of, let's look at just what's happening on these two indicators here. We saw the I guess I have not told you what these are called. One of them is called the Momentum Balance Oscillator, the MBO. The other one is called the HBED Historical Bars Edge Detector. Both of these indicators kind of look at the war between the bulls and the bears and what is going on between them. One on a more momentum base and one on general bars and trend analysis. So let's look at what happened here on the MBO. We can see back here, it's actually wild to see this happen in July of 25, because that was basically the peak. We saw this indicator go from a super bullish posturing and drop down to mildly bullish and then into the bear. This happened long before we saw our huge drop off here. And the interesting thing about that is we saw this exact signal happen in 2021, about April of 2021. It went from a major bullish posturing down to the bearish zone, and then we saw the drop off happen. And we saw this indicator trigger several bars before the actual drop off. So it called it in advance, which is super interesting to see. What happens here is it kind of looks at bullish trend and momentum based on price action, and kind of tries to tell where the bullish momentum is building and where bulls have likely to lose control. And you can see that it had this break into the bear zone, and then soon after that it broke back into the neutral zone, and we had our bounce happen in October of 21 before our final bear market. So we could see something very similar here. It would align with what I'm looking for, some kind of bounce up to 102, maybe even higher than that. In a couple other videos I was looking at last week, we could see even a bounce and break the all-time high, go to around 150K, really confuse people, and then have our final breakdown. So if we do see that, I'll be watching this indicator, and if you have the indicator, you can be following along as we go into the next few months here, looking at price action. But that is, yeah, so that's what happened with the MBO. Just looking at a 10-day time frame. In a lot of videos upcoming, we'll look at other time frames and strategies around these, all of that. And we're seeing a somewhat similar read on the HBED that we saw back in 2021. We had the bulls in control. So this indicator kind of, again, looks at where the bulls have control and not necessarily momentum, but just control of price action and candlesticks in general. The bulls were majorly in control, obviously, on this run up in April till April of 21, and then their control started to decline, and finally it reached the neutral zone right before the bounce. So we saw it reach the neutral zone here in July of 21, and immediately after that we had a major bounce up. We did see obviously the new highs there, but the bulls never got major control. So while price was bouncing, bullish control in general was barely moving, and so there was a major divergence there. And then we saw the bears, regain control or get control, and there was our bear market there. So we saw a similar thing happen actually from March of 24 till kind of the January and the July highs here. We have some major divergences going on where we had the bulls very much in control. They lost control back here, and we might see another little run up where we have the bulls get back in control a little bit. But if we don't break these highs here, that will call very likely the top as well. So I'll be watching both of these indicators on several time frames, and we'll be looking at those in the near future just to follow up on them. Let's look at a couple strategies really fast using these indicators. I showed this the other day. This is a long strategy built on the daily time frame. It's the great thing about the strategy is it's staying out of trades when the bulls are not in control. So as soon as the bears get in control of price action, these indicators will stay out of trade. So it will reduce your risk to the downside majorly. You can see this drawdown is just incredible here. And we do have obviously a few major wins that really offer the most benefit. You have to be trading this very long term to get those the benefit of those. But even if I was to just look at the past 2 years of price action, this indicator just offers really, really great. I think it was like about 150%, whereas Bitcoin in the past year is basically break even where it was a year ago. Like if we look at 24, let's look at the December of 24 really fast. 24. Okay, so yeah, we were around 75K, then we broke up to 89K. In November, December of 24, we were around 92K. So we're actually below price action for November and December of 24. So Bitcoin is net negative since then, and this strategy has been net positive since then. So anyway, super useful. Again, just using these two indicators, and this is just the start of it. I built a short strategy as well. Let me find that. Here's our short strategy. I showed this the other day as well. It is it doesn't win nearly as many trades as it could. So right now, the stop loss is at 0.85, I believe. If we put the stop loss a bit higher, I'm just going to try something like 2. We will see that drawdown gets a bit worse, but our wins go up by a good bit. And even these recent, like if we are, I probably could use one more indicator to squeeze a lot more wins out of this, but you can see that it wins a lot more, and we've been just crushing the market here recently, and all of this downside, it's been entering and exiting lots of trades and getting just a nice win rate here. And it's a nice and slow up, steady incline in, even especially for a short strategy, to see that kind of equity curve. Again, it can be modified a good bit to really be optimized, but that's kind of that indicator. Okay, now let's look at how you get access to these indicators for absolutely free. I just want to say thank you to all the members that have been supporting me over the years. So here's how you can get both of them for free. If you have the Revan Ribbon Suite, or if you purchase the Revan Ribbon Suite between now and December 7th, you'll get them both for free. If you have or have purchased or do purchase the Bumper Bands Master Builders, which is a lifetime for the Bumper Bands between now and December 7th, you will get both of them for free. Or if you go to the membership tab and if you subscribe to a yearly membership, you will get both of them for free. Now, if you just have a month-to-month subscription, you can choose one of them for free. Or if you are just a member of the Discord, you can choose one of them for free as well. Just DM me which one you would like. I guess lastly, just speaking of the Ribbon Suite, this is a short strategy I've been working on the 2-hour time frame, which is a fairly low time frame to be shorting something like Bitcoin. And you can see just a incredible P&L. This goes back to 2016, so the last about almost 10 years. I guess it'd be about 9 years. The last 9 years, incredible win rate, and as really takes advantage of sideways and downside markets. And you can see that generally we have a slow and steady up curve. Now there is some decent sideways here when Bitcoin is being super bullish. You can look, Bitcoin went from all the way, what was that, about 16K up to 100 and 100, where did it reach, 128 or 125, and all the while it did that, this indicator was actually winning. So that's pretty incredible to see, an indicator that can do something like that. So this is built off of the momentum oscillator and the width percentile, as well as the BBWP. And you can see here it's been taking advantage of all of this downside market here. So this strategy has been incredible recently, and will be available in the next couple days for any users that have access to the Ribbon Suite. Okay, that's everything I wanted to cover today. If you have any questions or thoughts, let me know in our Discord. A bunch of links are in the description below, and I hope you guys stay safe. See you next time.